we're taking a week off from Pitch Me because I wanted to be able to discuss some SEC scheduling things that have trickled out here. We're getting SEC schedule times from ESPN in the middle of May, which is beautiful. I love it. It gets me so fired up. It is a bit strange how early we're going to get a lot of these because when you don't have SEC on CBS, that's just different the way that this all kind of trickles down. And ESPN not having to wait on CBS means that we're going to get a lot more of these kickoff times that are going to come out. And the good news is that you can just try and set up the best full day of games. And it looks like they've kind of already done that with week one, even though I am going to miss 3:30 on CBS so much. I will. I cannot emphasize that enough. The drums dropping, man.
The eagle flying, man. Anyway,
I don't want to get emotional. I don't want to get emotional, but we are going to get the benefit of having a full day of games where it feels like, all right, ESPN is wanting to make sure that you're not leaving the network at any point in the day, because you kind of look at it with week one, Georgia Clemson at noon for that game.
That's a war crime. I mean, I want to hear all the bot accots that are like, oh, the SEC is in ESPN's pocket or vice versa. It's like, what about that one then? I mean, if you think they're these SEC homers.
Well, I mean, from ESPN's standpoint, they're like, well, okay, what are our three best games? Let's have those three games in a time slot. And that's kind of how this is going to work more so now. And, the Big Ten's been doing, obviously, the noon thing for a long time with Big Noon. But, I thought it was a little bit surprising. Just a reminder that this is a new era, a very new era. And, for those that were surprised by the College Game Day decision to go to A&M, I think obviously this new SEC ESPN package, they want to get to an SEC campus for that game. And A&M gets to host Notre Dame College Game Day. Nice little win for Mike Elko, I thought. Ironic that Game Day's last trip to A&M was 2018 for that Clemson game, which you kind of remember that was sort of Jimbo's coming out party. That game went down to the wire. It was kind of like, whoa, A&M is hanging with Clemson. This Clemson team that ended up being really good, went on to obviously win a national championship in pretty dominant fashion, if you recall. But yeah, they were a 2-point conversion away from forcing overtime in that one. People forget that. But yeah, they are going to be able to host College Game Day and have people move on from the Jimbo Fisher era, which is a big, big win. Pretty telling that Game Day is not going to Miami, Florida. I mean, first time those teams are playing in the swamp since the Tebow era. And they're not, for a pretty thin week one slate, it's got options. And I'm going to get to the, kind of the breakdown of the day. But for a pretty thin week one slate, I was kind of like, man, that's tough not to be able to get that one with in-state, out-of-conference rivals that do not play on an annual basis. But I get it. 3 consecutive losing seasons. Coach on the hot seat. Tough to sell that one for week one. Not the best vibes overall, maybe. And emphasis on hot. Over under 91 degrees for that 3:30 kick in Gainesville. Oh, that's going to be toasty.
I mean, look, I just got my tickets officially delivered for the real Inter-Florida Battle, Florida UCF in the Swamp. That's going to be really fun. Excited on that. That's October 5th. And then, I just want to say on the opening schedule, man, I don't know why y'all keep putting Brian Kelly on Sundays and just giving him his own little day to melt down and blow up so we can all make fun of him. I think it's targeted. We've done 3 of them in a row. He's 0-2. He does the stupidest thing you've ever seen in all of them. Y'all are doing this on purpose now, and I don't appreciate it.
He's got the 4th one because it was Florida State, Notre Dame. Remember?
That one was horrible, too. That was when he told the players that he was... Yeah, well, he had the messed up joke. I'm not going to repeat it the way he did, but yeah.
Shout out Katie George. That was a great moment in college football history. He loves Sundays. He loves playing on Sunday night. I do think he's got some back end stuff where he wants to play on that day. I do. That's the only way it makes. We've known this for a while that it was going to be a Sunday night game. That wasn't necessarily new, but
because the Notre Dame fans were in church all day, they were nicer to him when he did what he did against FSU and almost lost to McKenzie Milton. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, let's go through the opening weekend of what it's going to look like for my couch, shall we? Is that a fun exercise to do?
Sure. Yeah,
I think it is. That Thursday, we have 19 games. Will we have 19 Thursday games? FBS games on Thursday. That's crazy. Arkansas, Mizzou against FCS foes. That's what I'll be watching. That'll be on, and then you get to watch Colorado against FCS juggernaut North Dakota State. That's going to be fun. If Deion loses to North Dakota State at 8 p.m. on a Thursday night, those Friday shows are going to be bananas.
Cowboy hat Stephen A. Smith is going to be here.
Oh, golly. Oh, the takes will be flying. Colorado's only an 8-point favorite for that one.
I bet.
I'm just saying. And then Friday night, I'm definitely going to be locking into Oklahoma, starting off against Temple. Excited to see Jackson Arnold, as I know many Oklahoma fans are. And then Saturday, main viewing screen in my household. I mean, Georgia Clemson at noon, Miami Florida 3:30, Notre Dame A&M that night. Sprinkle in a little Western Kentucky Bama, kind of the early evening game on ESPN. We'll have that working as well. Those three games are all ABC, and also on ABC is obviously LSU USC. Of course, that's going to be so much fun on Sunday night in Vegas. For those of us who like points, it's going to be fun. Well, I don't know how much fun that's going to be for you. Maybe
I'm prepared. At least we'll be in Vegas this time.
Are you surprised LSU's a 6.5-point dog?
No, I keep trying to tell everyone we're going to lose this game, but no one's going to listen to me.
All right.
I'm done. Brian Kelly, thank you for bringing up the FSU game because he should have lost that game too. All right, he should be 0-3 in these games.
That's true. That's probably true. Yeah, LSU getting its first season opening win of the 2020s. Maybe not great.
But at least, like I said, at least I'll be in Vegas, not Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando this time. All right, at least I'll be able to flush the memory out and just have a nice time.
How
Orange Blossom Trail is not where you want to be, brother.
No, that's true. That is true. But it was just the Orlando dateline of a dig. I just didn't really support that. Man. But yeah, we've even got Monday night. We got Boston College, Florida State. Maybe that's even going to be good. Mm-hmm. Who knows? 5 nights, college football, opening weekend. If the scheduling decisions moving forward are all about just trying to maximize the windows, which that's what the week 1 approach certainly is, I'm here for it. We don't have to like the Big Ten on CBS. I am a Big Ten grad telling you that I don't like the Big Ten on CBS. Okay, so if I feel this way, all of you are more than right to feel that exact way. But man, it was good to get some kickoff times. I just got the juices flowing. I was ready to go. I mean, what's too early to set the DVR? It's not. That's my favorite. I absolutely love it. We're going to get more times, too, that are just going to trickle out at random moments in like June and July. That's the beauty of the way that this is setting up.
I get it. Like, I work in TV. I get it. But the thought of like, we're going to take Alabama versus Western Kentucky at that 7 o'clock slot over Clemson, Georgia, I think is a little bit of a miss. But see, I get it from a TV standpoint.
But it's ABC. It's ABC versus ESPN, so it's a little bit different.
Right. That's what I was saying is like those fans will travel like in terms of like they will show up at noon, Clemson and Georgia fans, where you might not get as many of just Bama fans because they're playing Western Kentucky. So you know what I'm saying? Like Western Kentucky fans are not going to be watching that by the millions, whereas like Clemson and Georgia will. So you can kind of put that anywhere. It's kind of like LSU Tennessee that way. But it's like, hey, you're using my positive fan base against me here. I'm not crazy about it. So I just want to speak on behalf. And of course, what a great kickoff to college football season to just Georgia fans immediately being mad. Great. The firing gun has gone off. We're ready to go.
Georgia fans are usually fired up about the home slate, the lack of headliner games. They're fired up about the noon slate. They're like, what do you mean I can't just be able to tailgate for 7 hours before this one? Look.
Our guy Perry is going to be up at like 4 a.m., man. He's going to be ready to go. Locked in.
I got plenty of Iowa buddies that have no shortage of experience tailgating for a noon kick. It can be, and for an 11 a.m. kick because it's Central Time, it could be done. It takes dedication to the game. I know you might not be in midseason form yet. Georgia fans, I am confident that you can get ready to go for a noon game. Plenty of time all morning. Start Friday night. Go through. Drink responsibly.